So I believe we are live. Welcome everyone to the first round of the Formula 3 ACRL 2019 Championship Extravaganza. Today we're in lovely Britain, at Brands Hatch. I couldn't even name it. Couldn't even point it out on the map of the UK if I wanted to, but it's not raining, so I'm not complaining. Well, while we're enjoying some engine sounds in the back, let's have a look at the pre-qualifying results to get an idea of the ones to watch. So, of course, at the top, as always, Philippe Simard looking strong as ever, but not participating in this race. He said he's not available, unfortunately, so hopefully we'll see him in a future round. On P2 we see Oversteer, very closely followed by Tom. So in qualifying, of course, we'll pay extra attention to these two guys. They are both present at the race and expecting strong performances from both. Fourth and fifth, Matteo Pisani and Rune Janssens, both very close. With actually from there on, it's very close in general. But these guys, they don't even get split by a thousandth of a second. So also expecting a really close qualifying battle between these two guys. Maybe Rune Janssens has a little bit more in it with less practice laps and more room to improve still. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on them. I've seen Ruvik's, Team ASD, Adder, Petrol, Sam and Dirk I think already in the server. So looking forward to seeing those guys perform. And of course, yeah, hope to give some airtime to everyone. So let's move on to the screen then. Well, so there we are. I'm not very experienced with the broadcast tool, so I'll try my best. At the moment we're looking at Matteo Pisani doing some laps. So I've got some nice angles. As we see someone going off, Adder is going for a little bit of an excursion. I've been led to believe you can actually beach these cars as opposed to many other. So let's try to go on a lap with Petrol to get a feel for the track. So I've pulled up a track map here, so I can kind of sound interesting and call out some corner names. So we're going up to turn 1, Paddock Hill Bend. It's quite a tough corner because the road really falls away from you. Next we're on to Druids. Expect some strong vamos in here for lap 1. It's a really tough corner to nail the apex and also keep tight. Next is Geray Milbrand, as these cars are so fast, man, can't even keep up. It's a really tough corner where you have to do a lot of braking and turning at the same time. Same actually goes for Surtees, the corner he's in right now. Mate, Petrol, you're on the broadcast. You might want to start hitting some apexes anytime soon. So we're coming on down through a compression into Hawthorne Bend. This is flat in these cars. If you hit an apex, well, next Westfield Bend. Also very fast corner, just down one gear and go flat out as soon as you can. A lot of traction available. Then Sheen's corner, a very tough corner actually. From the driver's point of view, it's hard to spot the apex, so you have to kind of get used to it through trial and error. The corner you just went through is Sterling's. It has a nice camber to it, so you can carry more speed than you think. Final corner, Clark curve over the crest. Really important to get power down early, but don't be too early or you will get spit out wide because of the crest. Giving a tough time with traction. So as we see Petrol hitting a nice apex on turn 1. Going deep. No, Petrol, this isn't it, man. This is not it. So let's have a look at how he does in I'm still practicing names, Greymill Bend. Following Adder, of course. I've got some fancy tools I can put the camera still, so I'll try to do something like this for turn 2, as I expect some nice vamos in there. So lap 1 Druids. I have 2 shots because we've got 2 races tonight. So I'll try to put the camera to a standstill there, like this, so we can have a nice view of anyone being a bit opportunistic and maybe creating some entertainment for us. It's also nice, I have to say, to see Team ASD, who's currently in the pit lane, back at it again. So he was a bit demotivated after the LMP1, which I can completely understand. Stupid boost cars. Now he's back. He seemed to be nicely on pace based on the pre-qualifying results. Was struggling with the car a bit a bit, but yeah, he's picked up the pace, and let's see if he can pull some nice results today. And also, special shout out to Waffle. No, Waffle, why are you in the gravel, man? I was just about to talk about you. P7, looking very strong, and then you're in the gravel again. So, Waffle, always looking strong. I hope he has a good result. Next week he'll be participating with me in a team on the 24-hour of Daytona. So today he can get all of the vamos out of his system, dive wherever you want, so you can keep it nice and clean on the 24 hours. At least that's what I hope. So let's have a look at some other guys. Tom busy at the wheel. I have to say, Tom looking interesting. Where is the thing? With his paint. Special shout out for paint of the day. I have no award for it, sorry. I didn't think of making any, but this is a very cool paint in my opinion. Rich energy. It's a nice reference to real life with some shady energy drink company trying to get foothold in F1. So yeah, good job on that one. I like the creativity. Maybe we can go on board with Tom for a lap, so we can get a fan experience. This is like the old school camera angle. I really like it. Oh, apparently it just went mega fast and we missed it, so that's great. Oh, as you can, do you see a great difference between what Tom is doing and between what we just saw Petrol do? And Tom with the Grosjean of the day, spin it out, hold your foot down, pedal to the metal. God damn. So we saw Oversteer and Tom being very close on pre-qualifying, as you remember from the rankings I showed you, but currently Tom just ditching the field with 0.6 of a second. Can Oversteer show something before qualifying, or does he want to not show his cards? Let's have a look. So Oversteer must really pull something out of the bag here to close that gap, as it seems rather large at the moment. Of course, the track is ever improving with grip improving with every lap that the guys do. As you can see with these guys, the top dogs, they're really smooth on the wheel. They use the pedals to turn, make the car work for them, and not try to fight the car, as a certain Lance Stroll would say. Absolutely keeping his foot to the floor through that corner there. Not many cars you can do that in. I would argue the Formula 3 car is one of the only ones you can get away with it. GT3 you certainly have to brake a bit at least. Ooh, as he's going quite deep on, let me look up the corner name again. Sterling's bend. Sam, good old Sam, putting in a lap time that's good for P12. I hope Sam does good this race, as well as Oscar. I'll give him a little spotlight later. So Oversteer, he closed the gap somewhat. He improved to 0.2, but of course 0.2 when the gap was 0.6, that's not going to be enough. So let's see if they can make it. Let's see if these guys, Oversteer, Janasari, Rune Janssens, can bridge the gap to Tom, who seems dominant at the moment. And of course, also interesting to note is qualifying is not that long. Qualifying is only 10 minutes. So with all these cars on track and being very busy out there, you don't have much time to get a lap in. You have to really manage your that you get some clean air, and yeah, not a lot of tries to dick around with. So it's hard to get a perfect lap in that short time span. Also, something to watch out for in this race will be the fact that tires go off quickly in these cars. So we've heard drivers discuss over the week people have been struggling when they try the longer stint. As Tom goes for a spin, this is not what you want to do in qualifying. Neither what you want to do in the race. So it shows that he's really pushing it. As you see, Rune Janssens following Oscar Pink. Let's have a look with Rune on board. There we go, with a lovely Red Bull helmet. Going for it. So let's see if we can spot any major differences between what we just saw from oversteer and what we see from Rune. Certainly seems to take every inch of the track like oversteer did on turn 1. I think Rune was a bit wide on turn 2 at the apex there, left a little bit of space, and a bit wide out of Grey Mill Bend then. Rune fighting the wheel more. Rune always known to be smooth on the pedals but more harsh on the wheel. So yeah, working his toes but not working his arms that smooth. Of course for Rune also Hawthorne Bend, easy flat. Dive down into Westfield Bend. Chasing down Oscar, you can see he's catching on him. Maybe he gets some nice slipstream and actually improve a bit on his personal best. As you can see, again fighting the car, turning in 2-3 times to finally see the nose stick. It's maybe less than ideal, but that's the way we see Rune drive often, and oh, he makes it work for him. So as we're almost coming to an end of the practice session, this is not going to be a fast lap of Rune, and as you can see Oscar actually there in front, struggling for traction, and that's been a theme with these cars. People in practice, they have been sticking to higher gears, even out of, for example, the Druids, turn 2. You would expect maybe first gear, second gear. No, like the fastest guys, Philippe Simard, he's sticking with third, because he's still getting wheel spin in third. These cars have a lot of torque, they're really light, so a lot of power for their weight in the low end, causing that you actually really need to control the torque. But on the other hand, it's really quite controllable in this car. So as we see Rune take to the gravel trap, I want to already say that there are some awards planned for those that take to the gravel trap. So let's say everything that every negative has its positives. So we can see what the guys will manage. I have to say, actually, Jonas surprising me here with a good lap time. And whoa, I have to say a lot of guys going wide. We have Jonas in the gravel trap, the other Jonas in the gravel trap. We saw another, I think, Team Koof driver in the gravel trap. Of course, you can do this in practice and just hit escape and go back to the paddock, but that's not something you can do in quali, nor you can do in the races. So these guys have to really tone it down a notch, or maybe a couple, by the looks of things, to make sure they can get a good result and not end up in the wall or beached on the gravel. So for now, we still have to say Tom doing a great job in this practice session. 13-1, that's really no slouch. We see him removed from P2 by almost 4/10 still, if you round it up. So yeah, given his track record, also he was doing fairly good in the first series he attended with the ACRL GT3. Then he did a good job in the LMP1, but it seems like these lightweight open wheelers are really his bread and butter, and he's improving still. Let's go on board with him, see what he's doing. As you can see, carrying maximum speed, even 6th gear through Sheens, something which I wouldn't have expected personally. So as you can see in these cars, it looks like it's all about carrying at maximum minimum velocity. So the point where you're the slowest, you want to really maximize it. As he goes for a 1 minute 12.8, this is really fast. quite amazing. As you can see, he's sticking in third gear, fourth gear, not even out of third for Greenhill Bend, maximizing the track, using every inch he can get and a little bit more maybe at times. Getting a good late apex, and that's something you want to do in Surtees. And of course, yeah, when you're sure on the straight, it will take a while in Formula 3. The top speed isn't that high, but you certainly get the aero package to go through corners at very high speeds. Oh, as we see at the end, oversteer improving. The gap was only 2/10 at the end. Yeah, you can see the results on the screen. So it will be interesting to see what the guys can do. Of course, only one tire compound in for this car. It's just a medium. It's no qualifying tires, no different tire compounds choices for the race, which also gives a big tire management component to the race. As yeah, people have been kind of afraid for the longer race, for the 35-minute race, where they say, well, so 20 minutes my tires are really cooked. I'm not sure I can do much more than this. And in addition, as you can see somewhere over here on the left hand side, you can see damage. We're running with 70%. I think maybe this is a historic high or something like that. Not something we see often. Yeah, quite interesting. So I don't know. I'm really wondering what's going to be. People, there's a tendency in ACRL to have some bumper cars going on, and for one, these cars aren't very forgiving with it. With 70% damage, like as much as a little bit of contact is going to be your end of your race, I think. I'll ask if anyone's up for a quick interview. Or I won't bother the drivers. I'll respect their time, their concentration, and make sure they do a good job. So for the qualifying, we're going to focus on Tom, oversteer, as I believe the battle for pole will be between these two guys. Thank you, Mudkip, for the compliment. I have Discord and YouTube chat open on a second monitor, so feel free to interact. Makes it more interesting. So yeah, I guess YouTube chat is the preferred place to throw some salt if you want. Yeah, would be nice to have some interaction going. As you can see, oversteer actually in front of Tom, so probably the pre-qualifying result that I took were like half an hour early, so maybe oversteer still improved in that last little bit of time. So oversteer gets priority out of the pit lane, meaning he can set the pace, meaning he can do whatever he wants. If he wants to speed up to get more heat into his tires, or he can back the field up kind of a little bit to make sure they are in trouble and compromise their runs, but have still clean air for himself. So it will be interesting to see what will be going on, as we see Rune actually jumping everyone out of the pit lane. Very very alert from him. I guess very experienced too. So he must have been spamming that drive button like mad. We see Tom out in second, and we see, where is your boy Oversteer? Oversteer only going out now. That's in bad traffic. So in my opinion, because probably you won't be pitting, maybe. Because if you pit with a 10-minute qualifying, you'll have an out lap, you'll have a hot lap, an in lap, pitting, out lap, hot lap, hot lap. That's it. So you get 3 attempts only. However, if you don't pit, for example, I think you would only be you'd get more attempts. And I don't know if tire wear is that significant that you want to throw away so many attempts that you can get for a little bit fresher tires. Of course, if you mess up like Rune does here, you don't have much of a choice. I'm gonna laugh out loud if he beaches it, because you can beach these cars. You have to really gently make sure you don't beach it. He's made sure not to beach it, I think. This is hilarious. I wonder if he goes in or not. Don't think there should be damage, like there's no underbody damage in this simulation, I believe. But that was pretty hilarious, Rune. caught it on camera. You're exposed. So let's go on to Tom for his first hot lap then. Should be good. We're going to go on onboard. I guess I'll go for a nice TV cam. Maybe a little bit more of an informative cam, so you can see both corners, not only the right-handers. And we see Tom going wide actually. I don't think there's that strict cut detection here, so he doesn't necessarily need to abandon his lap. But with the level of competition we're looking at, something like that is probably not gonna be a lap he's gonna be happy with. So yeah, he has to just keep pushing forward, of course. Interestingly, we still see Sam and Super Yam on pit road, as well as Waffel and Jan Saula, or Jonas, I'm not sure. Jonas, sorry. Jonas Saula. Man, all those Finnish names are really tough. So as we see Tom completing his first real lap, of course we saw him going a bite a little bit, but it's still a 13.5. I don't know if track grip has changed that much. Usually there's a little bit of a degradation in the track grip between sessions. So we might see improving track still during this session a little bit, but might not be much more than a 10th or 2. Looks like Tom is shifting early in this lap. I may be mistaken. And surprisingly, Rune, we saw him after his fantastic bottle chop on his outlap. We see him close to the top step actually for the first round of laps. So yeah, quite surprised with that. As you would think, maybe the tires would be messed up, a lot of dirt on them, a lot of gunk, but looks like he is making it work at the moment. Of course, Rune quite good at putting a lap down when it really matters, just doing one and one only. So we see Tom in his rich energy car. I think this was a fairly clean lap, but I'm not sure if he was going 100% for it. Yeah, well, he was, of course. So 4/10 improvement. Very solid lap, of course. Ruvik's actually stepping up a lot, knocking at the door of Tom with only 1/10 of a difference. Rune also improving. So maybe his first lap was a little bit of a banker lap, or still driving the gunk off his tires from that excursion to the beach. Well, one man we see down all the way is Oversteer, so let's give him some attention, see what he's doing, because we expect him to be more up there. But this lap is not going to be it. He's going quite slow and he's going into the pit. So actually the guys are pitting for tires. They believe in this 10-minute qualifying format and they still need fresh rubber for 2 unique runs. They believe it's not viable to do a full run and then in one go, not going for tires. I guess they believe it's that close that they can't afford doing more runs on quite worse tires. They need to pit, sacrifice 2 laps actually, and then go for a new run. So let's keep in the back of our heads for in 1 minute. Try to switch back for Oversteer so we can catch his lap on the completely fresh tires. Tom actually also coming into pit, Ruvik's too. So it seems the trend. Guys are coming into pit road for their tire swap. As we see Waffel up there quite high, fortunately locking up into turn 2, into Druids, chasing down Oscar, maybe getting a little bit of slipstream. That could help him. Oscar slowing up, it seems, maybe looking for fresh air, or anticipating he might get caught by Waffel. So let's go back to Oversteer. Looks like he is not close yet to starting his lap, but the pressure's really on him. He only has about 3 lap attempts left. Clearly backing off as we see Super Yam taking to the gravel. Fortunately not going great for him so far this session is. We see Oversteer really maximizing the road to get the maximum run onto the start of his lap. Of course that's most important, the speed you start your lap with. Lining up all the way on the left, turning into the right early, of course, because the road falls away from you. You need to turn in early or it will get pushed out way wide. A little bit wide on Druids, Would expect him to keep it a little bit tighter, because of course every centimeter you travel extra is time lost, quite hypothetically. Coming onto 30s, really tough corner, especially when you're pushing hard. You want to go in as fast as possible, but at some point you have to apex, and it can be quite a blind corner. So don't push it in too hard. Make sure you get a good exit. As you can see, the straight is pretty long, and actually the straight kind of extends beyond this because, well, it's just a flat-out right-hand king there. This one is just a small lift, still staying on 6th gear, and actually, as we see on the following turn, Sheen's corner also staying in the highest gear, as Oversteer actually went wide and ruined his lap. So we'll have to see if he can manage a new one. Lining up again and going for it. I expect his lap time to still be quite okay, as you don't get a lot of penalty from going into the grass a little bit, but of course less than ideal. Certainly dropping multiple tenths there. At the moment it's interesting to see Ruvik step it up. He was strong in pre-qualifying, of course, but not that strong in practice session. So nice to see him step it up in the qualifying session and making sure he's going to start up at least in the front couple rows. By the looks of it. Also nice to see Petrol moving up a lot. So Petrol was looking quite strong in the pre-qualifying, top 10 at least, but P4 right now, that's very solid. So we see Oversteer really pushing for it. Let's see if he can take Sheen's curve in the normal way right now. It's a really tough corner, I have to be honest. As he said, it's a purple middle sector, so that's very solid. Pushing hard, using every inch of the track, using that camber of the Sterling's band to carry maximum speed. As you can see, these guys are sticking in really high gears for the corners to guarantee they get a good drive out of the corner. They don't want to be dealing with traction problems of the lower gears, which is something that really lights up the rears, ruins the tires, and also ultimately costs some lap time. As we see Oversteer actually pushing for the top step at the moment for a 1:13.0, very solid lap time. Trumping Tom and Team ASD will also improve to a very respectable P3. So Tom has something to do right now. Let's go on board with him, see if he can improve on this. We see Tom up a little bit through the first two sectors, so he has to make something work for him in the final sector. He has to find that final little bit of time to put him on the front row. Front row, of course, so important to make sure you start on the right hand side of the road to guarantee a safe turn 1. So as we see Tom going very fast, and Tom taking, no, Tom not taking away pole from Oversteer. It's so close. There's 1/100th of a second in it between Oversteer and Tom. So all the pre-qualifying ranking statements are coming true. It's so close up front for pole position. We see Oversteer, Tom, Rune Janssens and Timmy all in it still. Petrol still also put in a very solid lap time, improving to P5. But also, as you can see on the timing sheet, he has already pitted. Team ASD improving, but it's not enough. It's enough for P3. We still have Rune Janssens and of course many other solid competitors going to hunt him down for that. But that's a very solid lap time, if I may say so. And it's also very interesting to see that the guys behind Oversteer and Tom, they seem to have bridged that gap to the front row. So in practice and in pre-qualifying we saw a sizable gap where there was half a second in it between Tom and Oversteer and the rest of the field. As we see Rune Janssens resetting to pit, so it's not going to be Rune. Is it Tom? It's not going to be Tom. Tom in his final lap dropping a 10th to Oversteer, as we see a very solid vamos into turn 1 from Tom. So I have to congratulate Oversteer on his pole position. That's very nice. So I'll try to see if I can grab someone for a short interview between the qualifying and race 1 to get some expectations, maybe see what they're thinking, if they have any strategy, what they think about the tires, if they're going to be a problem in race 1 even, or just in race 2. So yeah, I'll try to get someone. Alright, so actually we'll be able to speak to our pole sitter oversteer for live. So I'll drag him in here now. And it worked, I think. So oversteer, congratulations on your pole position. That's your first pole position of ACRL, as far as I know. So congrats on that. How did the qualifying session? How did it feel for you? Did you, when you put it down the lap, did you instantly know this is going to be pole position for me, or was it not that clear? As I wonder if oversteer is getting some technical difficulties because currently he's not throughputing his audio to me.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, great. So,
Okay, finally. So yeah, about the qualify, my first 2 laps, I actually went off track, so I lost them. I never thought I would got pole for this race. My quali lap was really bad. There was like 2 or 3 tenths more to improve. But I'm glad. Yeah, first time here, sitting on pole. Now just hope I can make through the race. It's gonna be tough, you know.
yeah, that's true. It's gonna be a tough track. Passing is tough here, but of course makes people more desperate for moves that are more questionable. Um, did the grip of the track change at all between practice and qualifying? Did you feel a lot of difference? Because we see a little bit of difference in the lap times, of course.
Yeah, I mean, when we start, the grip was at like 99%, I believe, but quickly increased to 100, so I didn't feel like a lot of difference. The wing changed though. It was like 2 kph slower, so some corners was a bit different, but overall the car felt good.
Alright, well, since the race is gonna start in 2 minutes, I won't hold you up for any longer, and I wish you good luck. You got the inside, so that's the preferred line, and yeah, wish you good luck and make it a nice show.
Okay, thank you. By the way, I didn't practice, so they start on this car, so I'm not sure how it's gonna work out.
I hope for you it's not gonna be a lot of wheel spin. So I'll try to move you back into the split one. So have a nice race.
Thank you, bro.
All right, so we are gridding up. We are watching oversteer. I'm gonna try to find a nice angle from which we can see the whole start. So I'm gonna have to myself. I have to move back my car. Yeah, so this is not very something I'm very used to. So from the start in Assetto Corsa broadcast, you'll have seen probably from before that there's a little bit of a struggle where you have to reset your car as a broadcaster because you are actually assigned a car. So I have to do that. So of course always the start is kind of messy from that perspective. But I'll try to catch the action as much as I can. Hopefully already into turn one, but yeah, of course in turn two, definitely want to catch the action there. I'll set up a camera to start with, so I can see from the back of oversteer. So if there's anything where I think it's noteworthy, I can just push a button and we can instantly see the action from a chase cam from here. There's actually me. That's not what I wanted. So as you can see, the lights are coming on. I'm gonna have to reset myself to pit when the lights go off, and then instantly we'll go back to race cam. So everyone revving their lights. It's lights out and away we go. Resetting to pits, going back for the race. As we see oversteer getting away very nicely. Tom on the outside. Team ESD holding his line very nicely. The guy behind Petrol. Oh, Rune Jans is going wide. Rune Jans is going for a very big wiggle. Trying to hold his position from the outside. Big pile up in the back. Big pile up in the back. Vamos of the day. We see some guys. Waffle, poor guy, got fucked up again. We see Oscar going strong. Sam already making moves. We see a lot of John Deering going on. As I'll go back to the front to see what's going on there. Oversteer already checking out and leaving Tom all the way behind 1 second. So there must have maybe been a move where Tom tried to pass and Oversteer going deep. This is probably just connection. Must be connection. I can't go to... No, I think Oversteer bottled it. Did Oversteer bottle it? Oversteer bottled it! What has happened? No! This is crazy. So Tom in the lead of the race right now. Ruvik's P2, Pete Roll P3, and Janne Lanen, who's also co-streaming his stream is in the description, having a mega lap 1, moving up 5 positions on the first lap. So that's an awesome lap 1, of course. We see a lot of people John Deering in the background there. So let's try to get a nice overview maybe in the next corner. So we can see Janne Lanen already ahead of Rooney Janssens, of course, as he moved up 5 positions on the first lap. So that's a great effort by him. We see Dirk moving up a lot and currently pressuring the guy ahead, Rob Lewis. Of course, it's really going to be tough to make a move in the next corner. He has got a big run, leaving it to the last moment to swing out wide. He might get ahead of him before the right hand corner and actually makes the move stick. I'm surprised by this. I would have thought the inside line would have been a preferred one and would have been able to defend, but Dirk making a very nice move on right there. We see some strong training going on. With Kimmo Leppanen also chasing down Rob Lewis, so some really big pack action. So we'll follow Team ASD for now, so we can have a nice view of the whole train ahead, and if there's any action going on, we'll be sure to have a look at it. So also I have to make a shout out to my boy Sam Jordan, making a very solid start for himself, moving up 8 positions, so biggest mover of this race so far. Kimmo Leppanen going for the bottle job into the gravel trap. Sam going a bit deep, currently 2 wide with Jonas from Coupe Racing, I think. Sam very nicely defending the inside, has him cleared right now. Of course, has to still defend the inside for to make sure he doesn't get switched back on into Surtees. As we see a strong Vamos from behind. Who is this? I have to find Jonas Koberstein. I have to say the deep fried Vamos of the day contender. Not gonna lie right there. So Eder moving up through the ranks as well. As we see Sam still biggest mover of the day, moving up 9 positions by now. So if he can keep his car clean and keep going like this, there's a very decent result for him in the karts as he moves in a little bit deep. Of course, these cars are so on edge. People have been saying all week, I can put in a quick lap time. I can't put in 2 quick lap times in a row. Hell, I can't even keep the car on track for 3 laps in a row. So, of course, that's kind of the trend we're seeing right now in this race. As we see Eder closing up on Janasari, moving turn 1, both going a bit wide. At least not in the gravel trap like we've seen some people do. Braking for Druids. Eder trying to get a nice run, but has to make a correction on the exit, so compromising his exit and not giving him the run into Graham Hill Bend that he would like, of course. So, into Surtees, it's very difficult to make a move as the corner keeps tightening, and if you dive to the inside, it's very easy to go deep and actually make contact with your competitor. As we see Oversteer trying to make a recovery drive through the field, so of course this is not the position you want to be in, but you have to keep your head cool as this is the qualifying race for the feature race that we see right after this. So only 20-minute qualifying race where kind of mistakes get punished very hard because you screw up your result automatically for the feature race as well. So better maybe to go a bit conservative on the qualifying race. Make sure you retain that position if you're in a decent position, and then try to make something happen in the feature race. But right now Oversteer not in a great spot, of course. So as we see, Tom is still kind of checked out on the field, so we'll go for a little bit of a standstill camera. As we can see, there's a P2 through P5 is more of a pack, and then we see a little bit of a pack again. Guys are they're really racing in a pack. We see Sam still working on Janasari ahead. So this is about the whole field we just went through. So let's try to go back to Rubik's. Based on pre-qualifying and based on qualifying, it's gonna be Tom that's gonna walk away with this, unless he makes a mistake, of course. So he's right now in absolute control of this race, and but of course, mistakes are in a very easy to make with these cars. As we see Sam working on Janissari ahead, trying to make that double-digit mover number work for him from 9 to 10. But of course, Brands Hatch is such a difficult track to overtake. You have to make something work with the slipstream. It's really hard to make something work on the brakes in this car, as it's very easy to make a lock up or damage your car very badly. And as we know, there's 70% damage going on in this race, so that's not something you want to do. Sam having a decent run into turn 1, maybe able to do something into turn 2, but it's a long shot when you're that far back. You can only try to put pressure on it and see if the guy ahead can lock up and brake and run deep. So the guys are kind of spread out at the moment. Maybe we can do a little bit of a walkthrough again. So we see Tom on P1 having a solid 1 second gap to Rufix, who for himself also has a solid 1 second gap to Petrol. So if I'm not mistaken, that's a UK top 3, holding it down at the home soil. Very solid performance, I have to say so myself. Rune Janssens, after a bottle drop on the first lap, going wide into the gravel trap. He's working on a recovery drive. I think he was down on a couple more positions, so he's doing a good job at that. Of course, working hard at it. Dirk up a lot of positions, P3. I saw him up quite far on pre-qualifying, like 9th position if I recall correctly. Very solid performance, and especially holding it down for North America, Canada in specific. So yeah, very solid performance and always looking sharp with those paints. Have to give it a little bit of love on the stream with the strong Marijuanis on the airbox, and recreated this in real life helmet in the race. So special feature for him, looking very strong, and I have to say P5. That's really a solid result. I would sign up for that immediately. So let's go down the field a little bit. Matteo Pisani looking in his John Deere themed livery. Strong P6, moving up 4 positions through the field. So that's looking very solid right now, setting itself up for a nice feature race starting position at the moment. Of course, odd position starting on the inside, being the preferred line. You kind of have a little bit more control over your outcome in that case. Next, Janne Lainen, moving down 3 positions unfortunately in this race so far for Couve Racing, the highest placed Couve driver at the moment. But being a Finnish driver, having some grip hacks at your disposal, maybe you can turn something on in the last 10 minutes and try to work on Pisani ahead. But of course, Team ASD, Finnish resident himself, right behind him, can turn on those grip hacks. 10 minutes to go. Try to work on Pisani with Janne Lainen together. With Rob Lewis behind, as we see a lockup from Dirk. Dirk going a bit wide. So I hope Dirk can hold it down as he goes wide a little bit again. Also, always when you make a little bit of a mistake, you get pulled out of your rhythm, and you get some more mistakes creeping in, which is always quite unfortunate. Can lead to some frustration, but you have to keep your head cool and get down into the zone again. So we see Rob Lewis still working on Team ASD, of course, still in the slipstream and trying to make something work. Unfortunately, losing two positions so far, but hey, that can happen. As we see Adder with his lovely Sega livery as always, looking very sharp. Currently in P10, which is a respectable result, and looking solid. No major issues so far from what I've seen. I'm not trying to cast anything over you, but yeah, looking solid of course. As we see Rob closing up on Timmy. Next we have Sam. Sam improving 10 positions by now, so Sam double-digit mover of the race. So big moves coming from JMT's finest. Driving hard and driving fast, especially in left turns, as we've seen recently from his iRacing adventures. Next we see Janissari. Of course, Janissari still 3 positions up. That's very solid so far. Always nice to move up a couple of positions before you start your feature race. but unfortunately somehow Sam got past him. Not sure if it was with a mistake or just a on-track overtake. Next, Smarty's World looking strong compared to compared to his starting position. Of course, Smarty's World moving up 5 positions from his starting position, and always of course nice to see him make a split one. Next, Oscar Pink. So Oscar Pink, while he's under pressure of oversteer trying to make his recovery drive, will go a bit into him. So finally, Oscar returned to ACRL. So he's been away for about almost a year, I would say, probably close to 10 months. His wheel broke, unfortunately, so I've mailed my old wheel to him, and currently he's back competing, which is lovely to see. And I wish him all the best in his race. Of course, I wouldn't have anything against seeing a juicy fight between him and Oversteer. So as we see Oversteer and Waffle going off. No, Waffle, don't beach it. Don't beach it, Waffle. No. No, Waffle. No. Waffle didn't beach it. Okay, Waffle, no award for you. As we see Oversteer working still on Oscar. So Oscar, known as a very solid racer. He's not the one to crack under pressure easily. He's not afraid to make some daring moves, but he's one who is very able to assess that risk and go for it only when it makes sense. So Oversteer, he won't have an easy time with him. That's what I would expect at least. But of course, you never know what happens in this race. As we see, Jonas Koberstein working on trying to bridge that gap to Oversteer. Of course, losing 2 positions so far in this race. As we see some accident up ahead. No, Sam! What happened? Oh no! Sam had a moment. He was all on his own, as far as I know. Probably went too deep into Sheens, touched the grass, got loose into Sterling's. At least that's what I made of it. So rip double digit mover. Right now, as we see Super Yam struggling a little bit, Sam hustling with Kimo for 16th place. So Jonas also with a very nice paint as always. He's a GIMP user. I've tried GIMP, I can't deal with it. So if the awards look a bit shit, yeah, that's GIMP's fault. Moving as fast as I can, so that's always a good job. I have to say thanks for the shout out to Fritz Cola, of course, and I am also a lover of kebabs, so I give this paint a thumbs up, definitely. So next, Kimo Leppen and also a Koof driver, they seem to be the new epidemic, trying to take over ACRL, as JMT once was. We see Sam working on him, trying to make something work, of course. After you spun and maybe picked up a little bit of damage, at least damaged the tires, it's gonna be tough to make something work. Especially with 6 minutes ago, I expect some tire wear to set in and the car's getting a little bit more slidey. As we see a lot of things happening actually at the moment in the leaderboards, which I'll get to. So of course these guys behind, unfortunately running a little bit of a lonely race with Timotin already retiring. Hopefully he'll be back for the next race. Jonas Sauvela, of course, also not having the best of races, a bit incident ridden. Hopefully for him the future race will go better, with the same thing holding true for Supreme, of course, and Waffle. So up front a real battle has emerged, where we see Dirk unfortunately losing out at the moment. And also we see a big shift in the leading ranks, as we see some very nice 2-wide action going on right here in Sterling's band, with Dirk squeezing out Pisani but making it work for him. So very nice move to recover his position right there. We've seen Ruvix has made some mistake, but at the same time Rune has made a move on Petrol, making him good for P2 at the moment. So I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe we can get a nice post-race interview, so we can get something going there, or you can get an insight into what happened. As we see guy behind, Adder struggling for traction still. Rob Lewis trying to work on Jan Alanen ahead, and Timi, Ruvix and Pisani also having a big battle. So we'll try to stay behind in the cars, kind of in the trail end of this train, so we can catch also all the action that's up ahead in this train. As we see, Jan Lanen going off, unfortunately. That's always going to be very costly. Let's see if he can recover it. Can he recover it? Can he recover it? No! He's beached it! So unfortunately we have the first candidate of today for the beach award. So I know it's in very high demand by a lot of guys I've seen try to get there, but very unfortunate to see for Jan Lanen. Very unfortunate. He was doing very good so far in this race, clean and moving up the ranks, but yeah, looking like he'll be coming home with a cold shower. As you see, Adder trying to work ahead on Rob Lewis. Of course, it's very tough to be in a fight in those really slow corners like Druids with these guys. There's a really big accordion effect in these cars where you get where you close up a lot and you don't want to rear end someone, but you still want to try to make a move on them and close up and put pressure. So there's a really tight working space. So we see kind of a slipstream battle going on between Rubix and Matteo Pisani. Pisani having a big moment on the wheel, having to make a very large correction and losing out to Rubix. I have to say props to Timmy for thinking better of it and not diving down to the inside on Westfield Bend right there. So props to Timmy for keeping his head cool. And we have a big battle behind where we have Adder trying to make something work on Rob Lewis, but of course, yeah, it's so tough to get alongside and actually make something stick here on the inside. As it's easy to defend from Brands Edge, and most of the moves seem to be done using slipstream here. So at the moment, Smarty's World being the biggest mover in the field, so a very solid job coming from all the way down in P17 or P18 and moving his way up to P11 and possibly knocking on the door of P10 actually. So top 10 coming from all the way down in the higher 10s is very solid. As we see someone with an issue, there is, who is this? Kimo Lepinen with an issue, getting a little help from a guy behind. That's very odd. The Koofs are dropping like flies. We see Jonas trying to work his way out of the gravel trap and being successful in doing so. We see a big fight once again between 4 cars actually here. So we see Oscar being very feisty on the inside there, forcing his way into it, and Smarty's World has no other choice than to play with him, accept his fate and live to fight another day. So we see Oversteer trying to make a move on Smarty's World for sure right now. He wants to be, every position he can make up in this race will be a bonus to start a better race hopefully for him in the future. So we'll try to make a move on the outside here. You can see it's a bit bouncy because of his latency being from Brazil. Trying to play for exits, that's really obvious here. He's leaving the apex on entry quite a lot, because when you're stuck behind, all you want is a run. As we see, Rune has closed up to Tom, so Tom maybe made a mistake, had some slides. Of course, tire wear setting in, making it tricky to stay consistent. As we see Oversteer passing Smarty's World maybe made a mistake, very unfortunate of course, but still looking like a solid improvement so far. With all the fighting between Oversteer and Smarty's World going on, Oscar, he's rubbing his hands. He's a happy guy. He already checked out and was able to run away from Oversteer. So no pressure from him anymore. As we see Rune Janssens going for a fake dive bomb. Ooh, trying to make a move. We see Rune really pushing for it. So I guess this will be a very exciting last lap for the first race of this new season. Rune Janssens knocking on the door of Tom. This is pressure as it's at its finest. It's much you're gonna get, but Rune actually has to make some corrections for himself coming out of 30s. As you can see, even 4th gear, these cars, they don't have any traction anymore at the end of the race. These tires are done for, and next race it will be even 15 minutes longer. So there's gonna be some sliding, there's gonna be some bottle jobs. Who knows what's gonna happen? So Rune knocking on the door. Surely you won't do it into Sheens. No, Rune thinks better of it. Of course, you can't do that. No, Rune's not close enough unless Tom makes a mistake out of this corner. But Tom, very wisely, he backs it up. He backs up the corner correctly. He takes Sterling's like you should. Back it up. Make a nice. Make sure you get good traction. Rune going for it all and ultimately pushing too hard for it. But he had nothing to lose for here. Petrol was too far away to make something work. So Rune, of course, fair play to him, putting on maximum pressure and seeing if the guy ahead would crack. Oversteer in the wall. What's up with oversteer? So maybe oversteer caught up actually to Oscar, I'm not sure, or just pushed too hard for himself, and we saw him into the grass for a moment there. So in the end, we can conclude Sam being the biggest mover of the race. Very nice job by him. A nice recovery from a. That's not what you should do to yourself. I don't condone this behavior. That's some Verstappen shit right there, as one would say. So maybe we can see some donuts by Tom. I think we already missed it probably. No, we're on time. Nice. Very nice, very nice. So again, just take this as a tutorial, Luca. This is how you do donuts. So you turn the wheel kind of and you put the power down. And the rear should kind of step out and make you turn around. So that's a concept that's really, yeah, that's really nice. So let's see if we can make get a post-race interview going. So let's see what the comments are. Dirty air makes this racing impossible. So apparently dirty air being big in these cars. That's interesting. Didn't really think of that before the race. So the guy's putting some blame on dirty air at the moment. Apparently, he's being a big factor in being able to follow. Like take some air out of your front wing and makes it hard to follow closely in the high-speed corners. Well, I would like to congratulate, of course, Tom with his first win in ACRL. So that's a very strong win, and it won't be easy probably for him to hold it off from Rune's pressure for the whole second feature race, especially when tire wear kicks in. Rune is very experienced, and will be interesting to see how he copes with it. So we see Petrol and Dirk will be looking at the second row. Dirk with this solid performance, I guess, keeping it down for NA and keeping Canada's pride high whilst Philippe is absent. Matteo Pisani and Team ASD looking solid on P5 and P6. Nice result by those guys. Rob Lewis and Adder P7, P8, and Ruvix and Oscar Pink to round out the top 10. So I think the server goes down for a moment. So I'll go to the Brands Edge overlay.
I love what you did to the overlay. Hello.
Oh, hey, Bas. Okay, so I have a co-commentator just joined me. He wasn't sure he was gonna make it, but his plane just landed
yes.
To join us.
Must have been flown in all the way to the Netherlands, eh?
Yes, all the way from the Netherlands to the Brands Edge. So, are you gonna be booked in for the second race or?
Well, let's see.
I think. Oh yeah, you were booked in for the first one, so I guess you will be.
Yeah, I
booked
was. So I expect. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I joined.
Yeah.
So what did I miss? Little recap? Or?
Okay. Oversteer qualified on pole position for the first race. It was really close. It was like 4 guys in 1/100th of 1/10 of a second for pole, and Oversteer somehow went off on Hawthorne bend or Westfield bend, either of the two, on the first lap, with no pressure on his ass. So it was really strange.
Let me quickly Google those corners
Yeah,
there.
it was like two fast right-handers on the back part.
Right. Yeah. Ah, yeah. I know what happens there.
No idea what he did there. It's to be confirmed what happened there. Maybe some a gust of wind took his car, flew it off the track. We're not
foot oscillation.
Yeah, a little oscillation. Even though the corner should be flat out, I'm not really sure. Maybe a lack of concentration.
Yeah. That's what happens when you take your foot off.
Maybe taking a victory drink already after qualifying pole position. We're not sure. But yeah, he took pole position, but he bottled it. And then it was Tom taking the lead. And Tom driving a lonely race until the end, where Rune caught up and was able to put some pressure on him, but not make anything work for him. And overall, it was a race with a lot of bottles, people going off track, left, right, and center. Some people beaching it. Yeah. So that's I have an award.
Yeah.
Already.
What you can do in this car. So that's interesting.
Already give the award. So I saw Janne Lanen. So everyone can look at the stream right now. So there's a little bit of an award for Janne Lanen. That's the guy I caught who was able to beach his car.
These graphics are too good.
Yes, they are next level. We are all the way back in 2001. So you win a holiday to the gravel trap of Surtees, where you were able to beach your car. So congrats on that. I hope you won't do it in race 2. Race 2, of course, is all a bit of lighthearted fun. I will keep the Vamos award until the next race. So hopefully next race we can see some awards. Some Vamos. We saw already some strong Vamos, but there's some there's something in there for it. I got a bit excited throughout the race, so I forgot to look at the chat, which I promised I would do.
I'll keep an eye on that. So I noticed that there's no Philippe Simard.
Yeah, he wasn't available. He said
shame.
So.
Yeah, wasn't available. Sure.
A bit of a shame, of course.
He's scared, isn't he?
He's still trying to find some exploits to win. So.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. If you can't tweak the setup, then you have to find another way.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough indeed.
Yeah. So that's also why you're not racing then, Fritz, because you can't hex with the setup this time.
No battery hacks, so I can't race.
No battery hacks, no arrow gains on the ride height, right? So.
Yeah. Nothing for me. I can't do it.
Yeah.
So I want to see if there's someone we can grab. As I see the voice of wait.
Like there's some.
Okay, so it looks like Discord's taking a crap. At least I can try to call. I'll try to call. Test. Ah, nice. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So when I do a personal call, I can change the region, but I don't have power in ACRL, so I can't change the region of the ACRL server. But here I can. So.
Excellent.
Okay, so wait. We can try to maybe get. Can we get this guy into the call?
Who's that?
Oversteer. I want to hear what happened.
Where is he? I can grab it. I need to be friends then. So we have to be in the broadcast channel.
I'll try the broad. Oh no. Yeah. We're back. Okay.
I'll drag him. So there's a bit of oversteer.
Oh.
But it's just 3 minutes before the race starts, so hurry up. Yes. Hello, oversteer.
Oversteer. What happened, man? What happened? No.
Oh well, this track's very hard to keep concentrated. So when I looked over to see the relatives, when I looked back to the track, my wheel was already off the
Oh
grass,
shit!
and yeah, stupid mistake.
Oh
So
crap!
I rejoined like on the back of the
Yeah,
pack, and
P17 or something. Very
yeah,
unfortunate.
this car has a lot of dirty air, so it was impossible
Ah,
to try something,
you-
but
you-
still made up some positions.
did you feel a lot of understeer once you were close to others? Or
Yes, that's what I'm gonna blame. The understeer this car has when it's under the dirty air. It's
no,
impossible to drive.
mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
this is not iRacing. No.
Yep.
All right. Well, I wish you good luck for the next race. Hope you can make up some further positions. How were the tires at the end of this first race? Were they done for or?
Oh well, so this is a bit of a secret. The tires were, I will say they were okay. Perhaps I can try something different here for the second race and see what can happen.
Okay, so we will see. We'll keep an eye on you if you have some interesting strategy, uh, exploits potentially. We'll have a look.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we hope you finish up front, but no pressure, of course.
Zero pressure.
Okay, thanks guys.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Okay, I'll move him. All right. So I'll try to join back to the race server.
Yeah, it's about 1.5 minutes before we start
Oh, that's
with the second race. I don't see any reversed grids, or am I?
No, the first race is a qualifying race. So, first race is 20 minutes qualifying race,
All right.
and then that decides the grid for the feature race, which is awards 1.5 times points.
Okay, so no pit stops, and I think the tires were going off a bit because people were going off.
Definitely.
So it's going to be funny, isn't it? I love being on the other side for once. Not having to worry about the looks or
Yeah.
anything.
Well, there's not much to go wrong with the looks for me, so when it's all in the gutter.
Bleep bloop.
Yeah.
Bot.
Usually when I was spectating you, I would take the overhead view. It was really nice to get a good overhead action.
That's when you click on speed, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, speed. Yeah, that's
Speed.
a nice view to be able to real time commentate on what's going on.
Oh yeah. I can't really see who's who.
Yeah, that's tough. Tom is. Oh, you don't have any skins probably, right?
Oh yeah, right.
Oh,
That's probably
I
why.
think
Yeah.
they're going racing soon.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Right.
5 seconds.
Lights on. Lights are out and away we go. Reset to pit. Go back to the start and Tom is away. Tom is away quite solid. Rune
And
following.
on the
Petro
inside
going for the
of Rune
vamos.
is Petro,
Petro, vamos,
Petro
vamos,
is big time.
vamos. Oh my god. That's a deep fried vamos of the day award going right
And
there.
now they have to
Speed roll.
not get to a standstill, but it seems like they're all getting away, at least at the back.
They are able to get away from the sand trap. We see Team ASD going very aggressive on Rob Lewis and Matteo Pisani right there. Of course, the inside being the preferred line, but still hard to get the power down on the exit there. Sticking in a higher gear to be able to put down those ponies that are not really present, but still apparently are able to light up the rear for the Formula 3 car.
Nice slipstream on the outside. Not the first time for Team ASD. Can he do it? Keeps it foot in. Very nice.
Very nice.
And
As
someone
we see
going off there.
in the background, we see Ruvix
That's
going
Ruvix.
off, trying to hold on the outside again, going into gravel trap. Please keep going.
Almost loses it.
He is able to keep it rolling. As we see more people
Well, at
going
least back on
off,
track. Yep.
we see Waffle going for a little detour,
Oh, yeah.
keeping it rolling as well. No arch for Waffle today. We see a big train with Super Yam and 3 Koof drivers, all trying to get a piece of Jonas Koberstein. So as we see Super Yam working, going for the aggressive
oversteer into the pits. He went off in turn 1.
Oh.
And now he's into the pits, probably to repair, or he's retiring. I hope not. Hope not.
Who knows?
Dirk P is in second place. Oscar Pink in third place.
Dirk holding it down for North America. Very solid job by him. Of course, starting P2, and Oscar being the biggest mover up front, up 7 positions up to P3. That's some very nice driving by him, making use of all the opportunities that were given to him by courtesy of Mr. Pete Roll. We see a big split in the drivers right now. We see some big losers at the moment in the back, and all the guys that are able to survive that carnage on turn 1, taking nice benefit from it. Most notably Dirk, Oscar Pink, also Samuel Jordan moving up nicely, Jonas Koberstein and Janne Lanen also moving up a lot. 10 positions, double-digit mover right there. So as it seems, as it gets a little bit later in the day, in lovely Brands Hatch, there is a little bit of fog setting in. I'm sorry, I think I messed up the stream. The picture is still showing.
Little radio cast there.
Little radio casting. So Petrol got away there nicely by not showing his almost in picture, but only on voice. So yeah, rookie streaming mistake right there.
Proper pro, and we have Pisani, then another slipstream on Adder. They're very close. Another fight going on. Timotin on Sauvula.
2 teammates duking it out. You see currently a little train, 4 or 5 man train for P6, trying to get a piece of Adder. Of course, Adder needs to keep his head cool. As long as you keep your car on the black stuff in this track, it's very hard to pass. Of course, with on the back straight onto the flat out right hander, there's a possibility as Team ASD has shown us earlier, but other than that, it's really tough to pass here. So
Tom is flying away though.
Tom is really fast, and Tom was fast on the first race.
Sam on Pisani, no, having a look.
Sam having a look, but thinking better of it, wants to save his front wing for the latter 30 minutes of this race. So again, apologies for the first 5 minutes of the race where I forgot to turn on the video, which is quite unfortunately because there was nice events going on with Petrol and Rune.
Although like Super Jam having a look on Jonas Sauvula.
Super Jam maybe can make something work with the slipstream right here. Of course, it's quite far back, so it's going to be tough into the right-hander. As we see Janne Lanen going off, chasing down Sam, but in the process, stepping a bit too far, and Jonas opportunistically making it work, going deep, but making it work for so far. Nicely
still fighting
inside, and he seems to have made it stick right there. As we see, still a 3-way fight going on. Sam going for a spin. Oh no! Sam being a roadblock and tagging Jonas. No! Big vamos.
Who went around there?
Sam lost it by. Sam dipped his left rear wheel onto the grass on the exit of the final corner.
But he
made a half spin and unfortunately tagged Jonas.
Oh, and Rune and Jonas Koberstein touching.
Oh, Jonas not having the best race today.
No.
The first race was nice for him, but second race not going as planned, certainly. As we see Supreme piling on the pressure on Jonas Sauvula. Supreme not getting the fastest lap. Oversteer trying to make a recovery, of course, but when you're in P21, it's going to be tough to make something work. Supreme trying to make a move around the outside, but of course not far enough alongside to make it stick.
I hear some gravel.
Oh no,
and
Petrol going for a Vamos again. Super Yam going for a 2.5 spin. I'm gonna have to give it a 7 out of 5 with Rice.
Pete is rolling it there.
Pete is definitely rolling people, and Pete in the wall again.
Yeah.
Oh, Pete not having the best of races. And going into the pit lane.
Even the Jansen is just past him, so he's making up some places as well, even though he dropped 12 places.
Certainly.
I'm also impressed by Adder, I must say. I mean, you know, okay. It's not a Ferrari, but you know, he's up there.
Certainly,
number 6.
He's up there, and of course he has a clear gap ahead, so he can make pace. He's not gonna get hold up by anyone. But of course, Matteo Pisani is gonna do everything in his power to get ahead of him, and certainly it's looking likely that it will at least get to a fight with the slipstream going on and Eder dipping a left hand side of his car into the grass.
Speaking of fighting on the inside, Janssens on Janusari.
Making it thick. Janusari not able to respond on the next corner.
But under pressure from Lepponen as well. And Tom with the fastest lap. They're trading laps, I think, Tom and Oversteer.
Certainly, of course, Tom at this point.
Just Rune goes wide and goes off, spins.
Oh no, Rune Janssens going off.
So much going on, guys. Oh. A little bit of wheel spin getting away there.
We're in the rubber. As we see Vaffel working on Janusari ahead. Very close, of course, into turn 2 is so hard to pass. You wanna think about diving up the inside, but it's easy to cover off, and going forward very late, it's easy to end in tears, so not worth it most of the time.
Finally, a little bit of peace and quiet on this track. Drivers are starting to get away from each other. Tom now with a 5-second gap to Dirk. But Dirk keeping it in second place.
As you see Rob Lewis closing the gap up to Oscar. Oscar potentially maybe made a little bit of a slip up. And Rob is ready to pile on the pressure to make him the guy on P3. So it looks like Tom is completely checked out, having an easy drive for this race, facilitated by petrol, of course. He is 6 seconds clear of P2 and increasing that gap every lap, lap on lap on lap. And at the moment it's looking like he has some buffer to work with. Of course, Dirk looking very solid at the moment. P2, that's a solid result after being around P10 in qualifying, if I'm not mistaken, and also in PQ. So solid results from him so far. All about keeping clean so far. Last lap around, it looked like he made a little bit of a mistake, but of course also managing those tires with 25 minutes to go, that's the most important objective, as that's the one thing that can hurt him from this point onward. And then when we go down a little bit down into the list, of course Oscar in P3, he is under pressure from Rob Lewis and Team ASD, both within 1 second from him, so one mistake and it's 2 positions down for Oscar. But at the moment it seems more likely maybe Team ASD to make a move on Rob.
Yeah, Rob going wide a bit, and Timmy is closing in into the hairpin, whatever it's called.
Druids.
Druids, goed man.
Very sharp corner to the right. So
that's what that is, yes.
Matteo Pisani trying to make it work on Eder going a bit wide. Let's see if Matteo can send it into Surtees.
Yes.
Matteo very respectfully keeping the inside, but in that process ruining his
run. But Eder fucks it up anyway.
Eder
so
messes it up. Oh no!
And that's 2 places gone.
That's
you know, I mean,
gone.
Yeah. What can I say?
Pisani being a gentleman right there, leaving a lot of space, not using all the track he could have potentially. But Eder unfortunately touching the curb on the outside, getting his car loose and having a half spin there.
Yeah, I think Eder should have picked the F3 instead of the F3 because you know this car, the other cars are overpowered. It's clear. Very unfortunate. Place 8 then.
I see Vaffel trying to make it work on Janusari, going very close, following very close as we've seen today into Sheen's curve. Of course, with all the push, with all the talk about aero push we've had, that's a tough thing to do, and Vaffel slotting in nicely on the inside and making it work.
Opportunistic from Kimmo. Yeah, getting a nice slipstream as well.
Kimmo, he saw an opportunity, he saw Vaffel going for it, and he thinks there's a gap. I can fit my car in there and make sure I can make a compound the issue for Janasari of not only losing one place but 2 places in one go. As we see the field spreading out a bit, we see Tom running away as ever. Last time we've mentioned him, the gap was to P2 was around 6 seconds. He's already built up to 8.5 seconds right now, so clear skies for him.
Wow, a bit foggy, but
A bit foggy.
yeah,
Maybe behind the fog there's a nice sun somewhere.
for him there is, I'm sure. Yeah.
Of course, with the fog and the shitty weather, he's completely in his element as on home soil at Brands Edge.
Speaking of elements, we have 2 elements at the sort of back of the field. It's Smarty's World and Pete Roll. Pete Roll having a bit more pace by the looks of it. And maybe one day he can attack on Smarty's World.
Of course, very easy to get frustrated with yourself when you're down that far, made some mistakes to get there. But at that point, you just have to get your head down, make sure you can do the best recovery drive as you can, and go clean from there.
Yeah, just keep rolling with it, really, Pete.
not having the ideal Sterling's bend right there, leaving a bit of space again on Clark curve. So I'm not sure if he has some damage on his front wing still. Getting less turning than you would expect, or the front tires already giving up a bit, but certainly wide on some corners.
Well, this is a nice one though.
That's a nice run Petrol got right there, making a move, jump on the inside, going a little bit deep, but he makes it work. Of course, Smarty's World also very nice to play along right there with that.
Timmy has the pace though.
Oh, Timmy has passed Rob Lewis. We've missed this. So Rob, before it was Oscar Pink, Rob Lewis, Timmy ASD, but Timmy ASD has made something work on Rob Lewis, putting him into P4, and now putting Oscar under pressure, taking 1.5 tenths out of the gap on the last lap alone. So looking strong, and as we can see already, comparing last and best lap times, they're already dropping. So 15 minutes in, the cars are getting lighter, but the tire wear is setting in. So and we've still got 20 minutes to go. So I expect some sliding going on towards the end of this race for sure. So time to give time to give a little bit of a highlight to Jan Lanen at the moment. So biggest mover of the field today so far, 13 positions up. So he started all the way in the back. He was the guy with the award for the Beached Car of the Day award. So yeah, of course very unfortunate running on the first race, where he was in a nice position, but ultimately found himself trapped in the gravel. But currently moving up and solidly up 13 positions into P7, looking like a nice result right now, and maybe with a little bit more pace compared to Pisani as well. So looking nice.
In the recent laps, from my information, looks like Timmy ASD has the fastest lap of 14.5, while Dirk and Oscar both in the 15s as the fastest lap. So maybe Timmy can not just put Oscar under pressure, but with 3 seconds up the road to Dirk, towards the end of the race, maybe he can put some pressure on Dirk as well.
Exactly, it would be very exciting. Of course, it's quite a gap to close, but it seems like Oscar has some pace as well. As we just saw, Timmy actually struggling for traction a lot, and that only puts more and more wear on the tires, which is something you really want to avoid. So from this camera angle we can see Timmy being really smooth on the wheel, something that's really important when you want to conserve those tires in a longer race like this.
He looks calm.
He looks very calm.
Does look calm.
Almost finish-like.
Yeah.
But of course, Oscar Pink, not an easy act to crack.
Pretty much on the edge of grip. Timmy has a little look, and Oscar going a bit wide. There is some pressure, and these tires are definitely going off, so this is going to be fun, isn't it?
It's all about who is able to cope with those changing conditions. As we see, Rune is still putting in quite decent lap times, putting in 14.8 right now, which is well, 6/10 slower than the leader, but it's faster than the top the other guys in the top 4 or 5 are doing. So Rune trying to make a recovery drive, of course, after that disastrous turn 1 incident where he was kind of an innocent party in.
Yeah, we'll have to see that in the replay, of course. Rune then going for an overtake on the inside of Janne. And there he goes. Textbook overtake. Textbook going wide from Janne in background for me.
Yes, of course, when you get past, you get pulled out of the zone immediately, and makes you kind of more conscious about the next turn, which makes it easier to mess up even. So Tom really checking out the field. So he's going still in the low 14s, while the rest of the field is in the high 14s or low 15s even. So yeah, strong job by Tom, just dominant. He can afford a mistake or two from now on and still end up in P1.
Timmy then slipstream. Not close enough, is he?
And you can see actually he had to lift on that corner where it's normally flat out because of that dirty air. He can't make it work and get a run going on the following corner just because of the dirty air.
Yeah, I'm sure Oscar knows this. That if he doesn't make a mistake, then he can stay in front. But with these tires going off, not making a mistake might be the hard thing to do.
Exactly. So unfortunately, after Ruvix, also Smarty's World is retired from this race. We saw him have a really good run on the first race. Unfortunately, was pulled to an end by an incident. So unfortunately, he wasn't able to recover something nice in his future race. Hope he has better luck in the next future rounds.
I missed it, but Adam made up a place, or did anyone lose place then?
I think.
Seven.
Oh, I think he made up a place relative to Jan Olanen, so must have been a move on him.
Nice. Back in the game.
As you see momentarily, Sam Jordan and also Team ASD getting at times very close to the guys ahead, but not being able to subsequently get a traction down, get the power down out of the corner, and get a slipstream going for the next corner. It's looking, these guys are really already fighting for traction as it is.
Yeah, maybe we can get a fan boost going or something. Can we do that?
Attack mode.
Attack mode, that's right. Go wide into that fast turn and then get attack mode.
Yeah, sounds perfect.
Yeah. Great plan, right? I don't see what could go wrong. This is ACRL.
There's a car
someone's
around.
standing still. What's that?
Who is this?
That is Timmy ASD. No!
No!
Timmy!
Hey, what you doing?
Timmy, you bastard! We can do that now. We can do that. I can say bastard.
Timmy,
yeah, so that is 13th place.
Let's inspect. Oh, Rune Jansen's retired from race. Maybe he had a collision with Timmy when he rejoined. That's just that's of course just speculative. I'm inspecting Timmy's car at the moment. No visual damage from my side, so maybe it was just a spin. But of course,
great control on the drone cam. Great control on the drone cam. Yeah.
Oh, as we see Jan Olanen going wide, unfortunately. Don't beach it.
Oh.
Don't beach it. No beach. No. Don't beach it. As he keeps going.
Yay!
Right. Yay!
We're proud. Yeah.
Pooh. Eventful.
Very eventful. So.
As you see
Timmy then.
Yeah, Timmy making moves. Timmy with the dance moves. Making his way back up. Waffle going.
Waffle.
Oh, with Sam. Too wide. Wow.
Yeah, still too wide.
Too wide. That's.
Can he make it?
This is some good racing.
He's trying.
This is some good racing right here. This is the best racing I've seen today.
Yeah. On the inside. Can he do it? Oh, and Sam is being so kind. He's gonna have him, isn't he?
Aye.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
opportunistic move from behind. Sam, no!
yeah, Leppanen.
What's
No!
up with Sam?
What are you doing?
Sam!
Stop it!
Did Sam beach it? Sam, keep it
Not
going.
yet. Not yet.
Oh,
Up the hill.
beach.
Oh.
This is
Yeah,
beach.
beach. Bye bye.
Yeah, Sam got the award. The beach award. Time to show it. Right. Samuel Jordan, Beach Car of the Day award. Goes to him. I
Yeah,
have to say,
we want an interview with him.
very respectful driving with Vaffel. Looked very
Oh.
nice. Too wide into Sheen's curve, which is not something we see often. As we see Dirk going wide. What happened with Tom? Dirk going off.
Tom.
Tom has messed up. Tom in P5. Dirk has just gone off. Oscar
Next time,
Pink
he
in the P1. What is up?
So if you know what happened, let us know in the chat or something.
What
'cause
has happened?
Shit is kicking off, man.
But Tom had a 12-second gap to Dirk. Tom
Yeah.
messed up somehow.
Yeah, but Dirk is falling behind
Dirk
as well,
is
and now it's
falling behind
Oscar
as well.
in front.
I saw Dirk into the into the gravel or into the grass between Sheen's and Sterling's. So like the really fast right-hander that's blind, and then into the cambered left-hander.
Tom on Edda back to place 5, maybe 6 now. 5 days.
Adder, of course, with the preferred line, but hard to get the power down, and that's what we
Great
see
driving,
as well.
great driving.
Very respectful, very nice. I wonder what happened there with Tom and Dirk. You would
Yeah.
expect Dirk, who had like a healthy gap to Oscar as well, like 4 seconds or something. You would expect him to taken the lead, but maybe in avoiding Tom's wreck or something, messed up himself in the process.
Let's see if I can find out and go to the replay and find out what happened. So you're on your own for a moment.
So Oscar Pink actually checked out at the moment from the field easily in P1, so try not to jinx him this time. Maybe it was the tire wear setting in for Tom, who knows. Let's see what kind of lap time he turns right now to see if how he's doing. But at the moment, Oscar checking, really running away from the field with half a second in this last lap alone, with a healthy 5-second gap to Rob Lewis. Tom trying to make a recovery drive, puts in a very solid lap time on the last lap, so his car must still be fine. Maybe just a lack of concentration for a moment there. Also, Oversteer unfortunately not been able to convert this race into a recovery drive that he wished it would be. Currently being a couple positions down still, and trying to work on something.
Looks like Tom made a pit stop.
Tom made a pit stop. Ah.
He did.
And Dirk just lost it. I saw Dirk in the gravel.
Aha.
So Tom with the pit stop.
That's right.
I guess it will work for him. With how much with the gaps that are currently there. Except, of course, you have to get by your competitors cleanly, and that's a tough ask around Brands Edge.
Yeah, and Dirk had a spin in the final part of the track, that left-hander.
As we see Tom just putting in the fastest lap, confirming his tire change.
Is it a 13 then?
Yeah, 13.7.
Nice.
So closing up to the guy ahead, Pisani, with 2.5 seconds in the last lap. So that gap is closing quickly.
This is a bit of what we saw in the GP2 once with what's his face, Leclerc.
Yeah, reminiscent.
Yeah, maybe you can pull it off. I mean,
yeah, there's not that much time
5
left,
seconds.
and it's hard to get by people.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I don't wonder. Oh, going wide a bit.
Oh, dirty air kicking in. You see it happening to him. Has to reset the back out and try again.
Yeah, I wonder what the delta is. Maybe 1.5 seconds right now.
Yeah, looked like it around a second. I think that's around fair. Or a second and a half.
Yeah, I wonder if that's enough.
Yeah, certainly do. Unfortunate for Dirk, of course. Was looking at a really solid position, but maybe that's just the tire wear kicking in. It looks like Tom is backing off into turn 1. He wants to run somewhere else. He has decided for himself. He wants he wants to make his move. Probably he's thought better of it and thinks, okay, I need to make my move on the back straight where I can get a big slipstream, go flat out into a right-hander and hopefully make the move work. But right now it doesn't look like it, to be honest. He's stuck behind Pisani at the same spot for a whole lap already. Of course, now
he's gonna do it now.
He has
I think
solid run, of course.
On the outside though.
He's alongside quite early, so not the ideal run, but look like Pisani.
He's gonna make it.
Pisani thinks better of it and lets him go.
That is good. Well, yeah. He's got a chance, I'd say, still.
Yeah, it's
last
short
lap of Oscar being 1:16, so that's last lap is 1:14 from Tom. So
Tom with an opportunistic move.
Nice.
Wow.
So there you go. Still, everything's possible still.
Okay, now
5 seconds of the road.
This is a move that he really needed to make, and well, he's shown it that he is able to keep. He took a really calculated risk there, instantly diving down the inside of Rob, and Rob playing along with it. Now Tom can put in has 5 laps time to catch Oscar, which, given the gap, he should be able to. Maybe we can see a move with 3, 2, or 1 laps to go. He has some time to make it work.
Dirk lost even more places.
Oh no! Yeah, you're right. Dirk, he was down into 5th or 6th, but unfortunately made another mistake, or maybe made a pit stop, as his last lap was a 1:30.
Let me take a look.
So that's less than ideal, of course.
According to my stats, he did not make a pit stop, so he must have went off, and he was 6th before, so he's now 11th.
That's very unfortunate, of course.
Yeah, Pisani then putting pressure on Rob Lewis. 3rd place, last podium place.
Of course, this pressure is only compounded by the issue that the tires are getting really worn at this point.
Three seconds for Tom to Oscar now, and there was a minute ago it was 5 seconds. So
looks like Tom made in the end made a good bet. Of course, he still has to get past Oscar, which is not easy, but putting in the fastest lap of the race again. So
last lap of Oscar being 16.0.
Apparently, Tom he decided for himself, I'd rather have safe tires than having to make some moves, as we see Pisani kind of faking Rob, and Rob taking the bait and going wide, struggling for traction. We see Pisani really on his ass right now.
Yeah, he's a bit careful though, Pisani, by the looks of it.
Very respectful as always. Working on the traction for the exit of this of Surtees, trying to get the slipstream going for Hawthorne Bend, but not close enough to put a nose in and claim the corner. I have to say I'm greatly surprised by the lack of, well, I shouldn't say the lack of retirements, because there's quite a lot of retirements, but the lack of people that are completely out of race because they're smacked with damage, as we see Supriam, of course, unfortunately on the side of the road, going for some John Deere action.
Yeah, going for a careful overtake while Vaffel and Temperton fighting it out.
Vaffel with a very fabulous helmet, bright green.
Not the fastest lap for Tom, meanwhile.
Tom putting down the pressure.
Timothy's there for Temperton.
Going wide. Very big slide. As we see Vaffel having the preferred line now around the inside, on the inside, and taking the position if he doesn't mess up turn 1, which he doesn't. So very solid move by Vaffel, keeping it clean and putting the pressure on Timothy. With the worn tires, it proved to be too much for him.
Half a second now between Oscar and Tom. That's the last lap. Oscar stepped up his game a bit with a 15.5, almost his fastest lap, but 13.6. So that's still 2 seconds almost from Tom.
Of course,
faster days.
Tom has to really wait for his opportunity. He has 4 minutes to make something work here, and with the tires of Oscar only wearing more and more, he has to wait for a good opportunity, but don't wait too long, because at some point you should get settled in too much and not have the bite anymore to make a move. We see a big difference in traction.
Good run.
Two Brits duking it outside.
Yeah. Is he gonna have more speed? Is he gonna stick his foot in, Oscar? Yes.
Oscar doesn't play.
That's awesome.
This is nice. Oscar defending the inside hard, Tom going around, choosing to go around the outside. Of course, around the outside is very tough, but it's all dependent on Oscar being able to hold it inside there, which he does with a locked tire even.
Yeah, there was a great defense there. He slowed down Tom, so he couldn't really make a move.
Tom,
and
Tom off, in
hitting
the
a wall even.
This is not good with 70% damage. This is gonna certainly damage his suspension. I wonder if he's
Yeah.
still driving straight at this point. Doesn't look like it, to be honest, to me. Maybe I can.
3 seconds behind now.
I can see if he's still turning his wheels straight on the straight. It looks like it from my position, not entirely maybe.
Yeah.
I'm wondering.
Still keeping his foot in the fast right-hander. So
that's a good diagnostic to see if his car is completely dead or not. Oh boy! So even on the fresh tires, it proved to be tricky on the traction for Tom to.
Slipstream from Dirk on the inside.
Make it work.
A very solid pass.
So Tom's still closing up on Oscar. He closed up 5/10 ever since his accident, and he rejoined. So it looks like his car still has more pace. But of course he can't afford any more mistakes like this. And I think maybe Oscar has given himself enough of a breather to be able to secure this. It will be certainly a last lap shootout for this.
Tom is pushing hard though. Still, he was almost a second faster in the last sector in the previous lap, and almost a second faster in the first sector of this lap. So he is pushing hard.
He is pushing very hard. He's closing up very, very fast. Oscar riding on rims at this moment. Not much
Also
rubber left.
oversteer, having a look on Sari, making a pass. Sari, closing the door, and they start Sari off.
Big kaboom.
Big kaboom. Very big.
As we see two teammates, the Finnish Koof guys, making moves. Pisani still trying to work on Rob Lewis, but at this point Eder joined the fight. So let's see if Eder can make a difference here. As Tom has closed up to Oscar.
Now on the inside.
Tom has the preferred line. Tom has been able to secure the preferred line. I think Oscar's done at this point. Just for Oscar it's key to make sure he doesn't overstep himself, and
a lot of speed for Tom.
A lot of speed for Tom. The fresh rubber
no
does
vamos for Oscar. He's trying though, but
always trying to scare your opponent ahead if that's your last resort.
Yeah, Oscar needs another 2 names for that, I think. And a bit of oversteer from Pisani. No, that's Rob Lewis. And Pisani now right on his tail.
Pisani having a look on the outside, of course. This is only to compromise Rob's exit. Rob getting very loose. Pisani now having the preferred line, preferred drive. Let's see if Eder can compound on this as well. I think Eder has got this too. Maybe Rob can go very deep. Eder being way too nice here.
Yeah. Nice guys finish last.
Or 5th in this case.
6th or 5th. Yeah, there you go.
Eder still having a look, trying to go look around the outside, compromise Rob's line. Rob has really smoked his tires so far, as we saw him struggling for traction a couple corners in a row. So the only chance he has now is in the final corner.
And while Tom has won the race.
Eder going for a drift for style points. And we see Pisani rounding out the top 3 podium. So congrats to the podium finishers.
Still solid race from Oscar, I'd say. I mean, missing those names, but still...
certainly nice comeback from him after being away from it for almost a year.
Oversteer, still P10. Not too shabby.
Waffle proving to be a superior driver, coming in P9.
Dirk really dirked it.
Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate for Dirk.
Pete rolled it into 12th place.
Looks very strong.
Yeah. So the fastest finish guy today was, I think, Kimmo Leppänen.
Kimmo Leppänen. Outside of top 5 for finish. Guys, that's odd.
It's happening.
Let's see what the guys have to say in chat. Alright, so I'll ask if Petrol wants to come in the call to receive his award. So looks like we're not getting a response yet from Petrol. Given that he's not in the split one voice channel, I think it's unlikely, but maybe we can give it a moment. Again, very unfortunate that we had to miss it because of the broadcast screw up, but it was a really nice vamos, high level. Alright, Petrol
is
up for it.
something.
Oh, that's a real man. After such a race. Petrol!
What do I win?
You won an award. We saw some strong commitment on turn 1.
I didn't. Yeah.
So if you have the stream pulled up, I want to present you an award, which is the prestigious, the illustrious, the
Where's the music?
amazing,
Let me find music.
the deep fried Vamos of the Day award for putting Rune into the wall or into the dirt. Yeah, very solid. So I'll make sure to print it and mail it to you, so you can put it up your bed. Yeah, of course. Well, yeah, I'm a bit of a shame to see it on turn 1, but can always happen. And,
Didn't mean it.
Yeah,
Okay.
understandable. So I wish you better luck next time, of course. And yeah, thanks for having the balls to show up to the interview, of course.
Cheers.
Is there anything else you want to leave us with about your race? Maybe race 1, race 2, whatever.
Not really.
How did you experience the dirty air like the other guys did? Like, was it really big?
Yeah.
Ah, did you like a lot of push or like just no arrow in general? Was it
Bad.
bad? Okay, thank you, Kimi, for the interview.
Go now.
So you're free to go.
Thanks for the Vamos. I appreciate it.
More.
Well, go on then.
I didn't want to do that. I just got a better start with him, and found myself next to him.
Yeah, you were lucky. I messed up the broadcast. I left it on the overlay for the first 4 minutes, so
Thanks for that.
it was just a radio cast.
Yeah. Yeah, so that sucks.
It was
now we don't have anyone else to back it up to
yeah.
You know, we can't show it.
Yeah,
and
you don't need to say that.
It sucks, you know. When we want people to be able to judge you, that's fair.
Yeah, no, it looked yeah, of course it's tough. You got some understeer, the road was falling away like there downhill. So
yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
If you don't go for the gap, you're no longer a racing driver, as a famous Maldonado said. Yeah, that's all, I think.
What's the next track? Is it?
Oh,
Let's
Donington.
have a look.
Donington.
So I'll win that one.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
noted.
So
How much you
so
betting on that?
we'll schedule an interview this time next in 2 weeks.
Yeah, sure.
All right, great.
Yeah, maybe you can bring some words and then we'll be all right.
Nah.
You know. Yeah. Okay.
Mwah. All right. Thanks for the interview.
So anyway, yeah.
Cool.
Cool. Have a nice evening. Thanks for taking part. I mean, you can also maybe we can get a thanks for taking part trophy for next time as well.
This
That'd
is
be
a
nice.
participation award.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Do we need any other interviews?
I want to interview Sam.
Sam. Yeah, I'm not sure if Sam is up for interview. I have to ask him.
Mm. Okay, thanks. Bye. Pete. It was nice of him to join, though. It was nice. Oh, Tom wondered. Did we interview Tom? Did you interview Tom? No. Tom, which Tom? Too many Toms.
All right. So Sam is already in the plane. Departed to Manchester. So yeah, he'll maybe watch this on his iPad on the plane. So
Yeah.
I'll present it right here. So the beach car of the day award, of course. It was a very unfortunate turn of events on turn 1 right there, but
I enjoyed it.
you have to take the positives from the negatives sometimes. Add and subtract, multiply, do some division. Sometimes
And
you get
then
an award.
or some shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So Samuel Jordan, proud winner of the beach car of the day award. I hope to see you next time. I think that's it for the stream. Have a good one, guys.
Thanks, Fritz.